So if you tell a few people your plans or your dreams, Satan will send someone to discourage you and distract you. Myself, like many in life, have been told by others, you can't do this and you can't do that. Anybody ever been told that before? You can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do this, you can't do that. Mother Carol was one of my great, you can't. I mean, she's been married with me forever. I remember I went to the lumber yard, and it wasn't Lowe's either. It wasn't Home Depot. It was a sawmill. Y'all know what a sawmill is? Rough cut lumber. And I dropped all this wood off in front of the house down. She said, what are you going to do with that? She said, it looks like trees. I said, that's where wood comes from. She said, what are you going to do with that? I said, I'm going to build you some cabinets. She goes, oh, Lord. Oh, God. If I tell her I do something now, see, she's never, because remind you, you don't know nothing. Isn't that right? No, you don't know nothing. You know how to soldier, but you don't know none of this. I said, I will when I get finished, though. Uh-oh. You got what I mean? And so now she don't ever, if I tell her I'm going to do this, she go, okay, I know. I know. Y'all hear? You see it now? So now if I say I'm going to do something, they ain't even know. Okay, yeah, I'm with you. I know you're going to do it. Ain't no doubt. You going to do it. While reading the Bible one day in 1993, I just went over all that. And y'all are familiar with these passages, right? All right, y'all familiar with those passages. So, when I had no money, I had faith. James 2:17 says, even so faith, if it have not, what's that word? If it have not what? If it have not what? So you can sit up and tell me all this belief you got and be religious as you want. But if I don't see no works, faith without works is dead, being alone. So if a man have not works, if it have not works is dead, being alone. Yea, a man may say, you have faith and I have works. Show me your faith without working or works. But I'm going to show you my faith by work. So most of you ain't nothing but just a bunch of mouth. You the people that like sitting down at tables and talking about all this stuff, and you like reminiscing on all the shit you used to do yesterday here, and you ain't grown up, you still a teenager, still think you, and we're sitting up there looking at you. Oh, I used to do this. Well, how's it helping us now? What you used to do is not helping us now. Instead of you doing a bunch of talking and coffee drinking, we need this. We need elbows and shoe soles. Ain't that what the book says? You believe that there's one Yah, you do well. The devils believe also and tremble. But what will you, old man, vain man, that faith without works is dead? That's a good question, isn't it? Was not Abraham our father justified by works when he had offered up Isaac his son upon the altar? See us how faith wrought with his works, and by his works his faith was made. No wonder ain't none of you ain't growing in faith. You're too lazy, you're too lethargic, you don't want to do nothing. You want to gloat and bask in everything Pastor Dowell can do rather than what you could do. Pastor Dowell's trying to motivate you to get off your ass so you can do it. Oh, you can do it. If I can do it, you can do it. Oh, boy. And I'm telling you, I wasn't this avid builder either. We built that shower house. Man, when Elder Doug came out here, he said, that thing ain't square at all. I said, nope, but it's up there. And it's still there. Then he went over to the deck I built and he said, that thing ain't square at all. Went over and looked at it. How do you get 2 foot out of square on an 8-foot building? I wouldn't hire me at all. But that thing lasted 20 years. But you better believe when I was running them concrete buildings, I knew how to do square by then. I was like, man, the very thing I wanted to avoid, I couldn't do it. You remember when you was in school? I ain't using all this math. Talking about eating crow now, huh? I had to go back and re-educate myself on all the stuff I never was going to do. You hear what I said, right? I had to go re-educate myself. I didn't even know. Come on, man, I'm 32 years old at the time, and I don't know how to read. I didn't even know how to read a tape measure. It just looked like a bunch of lines. I knew what 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I know what that meant. Does that make sense? I can tell you what a buffer spring is. I can tell you what a firing pin is. I can give you all that good stuff, man. I can break that down. I'm like, man, what are these little lines and numbers? What are these things? I had a speed square, but it only had one angle to me, 90 degrees. Everything was whoosh, 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 whoosh. What good is it to have a speed square and all you can do is just strike a straight line? So I had to buy a book, educate myself, and then go out there and use it. Uh-oh. See, most of us don't like this inconvenience, though. You know, because if I have to educate myself and learn how to do something for somebody else's benefit, I want to do this about me. You ever understand? I've been living out here 25 years, and I've never lived in a brand new house. There's saints out here that lives in brand new houses before me. I've actually helped build houses for them. Look at them looking. After I had a couple of young men that I did teach how to lay blocks, there was nothing but one block mason out here until I taught Brent and Scott and JC and Brother McNabb. After that, there was only one block mason out here, and guess who was laying all the block? Taught my son how to lay block, but man, when he left here, he said, man, I ain't doing this no more. Must put a bad taste in his mouth. So now he works out there in the world on the factory and stuff, and he can't understand why people complaining. He says, how do you complain? We're in an air-conditioned building. I'm doing the easiest job in the world. If you want to know what work is, come work with my dad for the whole summer. He'll help you out real quick. He said, this is easy. See what I mean? And the scripture was fulfilled, which said Abraham believed Yah, and it was, what's that word? He believed Yah, and it was imputed. That word imputed means it was reckoned. It was esteemed. Are you following me? It was reckoned to him. It was reckoned to him for righteousness, and he was called the friend of Yah. In other words, he did something, didn't he? And you see how that by works, a man is. See? That's why I can't understand. Why come you men don't want to work? It makes no sense to me. I ain't talking about in the work and occupation that you're doing out there for the Gentiles. I'm talking about for Israel. Because see, when our brothers that did work out on the economy, when they did work, when they got home, they mostly just changed their clothes or they come right to work with us. And we did the same every day. And we only two buildings. I gave Mom and Dad Dowell the other trailer at the other end of the land because they were the oldest family on the land at the time. And then that one building, that's the only building we had. And when I started moving in these $200 trailers, somebody say $200. And these free trailers, it cost us $900 to move a free trailer, and it cost us $900 to move a $200 trailer. It cost us more to get it moved out here. I went to a guy and said, how much it cost to set this trailer? He told me, I said, guess who learned how to set trailers? Why should I go and pay them money? That's something I can do myself. I can use that money to buy more resources for the community. And mind you, we drove old pickups. Y'all would call us the Beverly Hillbillies before we got to Beverly Hills. I used to wear overalls, coveralls. Yeah, I had suspenders and everything. Big old beard right here. Didn't have time to cut it. Too busy working. So you see how that by works a man is justified, not by faith only. Works. Look what that word, toil. An act or deed or labor or work. See what it means, men? You got to work. I'm always impressed when I see Brother Steve out at a building place, at a building site, be him at here or if he's up in Straitway, Kentucky, with Elder Mitchell. I'm always surprised to him because he's a nurse. So they in air-conditioned buildings. Well, them hands are getting tough, though, ain't they? They are toughening up. You can probably bend a needle in place with your hand on. Don't worry about it. I can straighten it out. So you wouldn't equate someone that's inside of a building around mostly women the majority of the times, and then men and have to deal with patients and stuff as somebody can get out there and get it. But he gets out, he can get it. He gets out and get after it. He gets out there and get after it. Mm-hmm. So we went down there to walk that land. Brother Ron, he was already there. And he said, Steve, come. And I said, how far away? He said, about 20 minutes. A few minutes later, I said, that 20-minute, boy, what is that, a city 20 minutes? 20 minutes away and 2 minutes later, he's showing up. Anyway, he had drove, how long did it take you to drive from Clarksville to the land? 3.5 hours. Then he turned around and had to leave that land and drive how far to Louisville, Kentucky? 5.5 hours. So he went down there 3.5 hours, walked the land with us, and then turned around and had to drive 5.5 hours. And I'm asking you, is he doing all that for his health, or is he doing it for Israel? See what I mean? See, most of you talk about what you can do, but we don't see a damn thing from it. Uh-oh. That's why in this ministry, I cannot understand a wife being discontent or murmuring and complaining. You don't have any damn excuse. You got men willing to work their fingers to the bone and put a roof over your head, clothes on your back, shoes on your feet. And all you got to do is take care of him. And then you want to bitch at him and stuff when he come home because, why, you didn't get to go to the damn movie? That don't mean y'all can't go to the movie tomorrow now. It just popped up in my head. It was good to say. Hallelujah. Justified means to render just or innocent. Abraham was just and he was innocent. And free or justified, he was righteous. Likewise, also Rahab. Was not Rahab the harlot justified by works when she had received the messengers and had sent them out another way? For as the body without the spirit is dead, so faith without works is dead also. Now you see the reason why ain't none of you prospering. You got a bunch of faith, but your faith don't equate to working. They used to tell me, they said, why you have them old people working? I said, I don't have them working, but I tell them they need to be busy. I'm talking about old people. To me, old people is like 60 and above. I thought 50 and above was old until I got there. Until you get there, you know what I mean? We'll see how it works. Be the falls. We're in the 60s. I'll let you know if it's old or not. But you see what I'm saying? I'm like, man, I said the worst thing you can do with an older person is to cater to them and then don't let them do any damn thing. That's why I command all the leaders of the community, you better be leading by example. And your community is only going to go as far as you go. And some of y'all communities are going pretty far because we love you and because Straitway the Hub coming and helping you. Uh-oh. Which is good too. Because when we come, you're going to see a work ethic and what it's going to take in order to build. Hence, if you watch Elder Mitchell, see, that's faith and works. That's imputed righteousness that is justified. Elder Mitchell used to do like some of y'all do. I've had a building project. He would jump into an airplane or vehicle and drive here and come and help me do these buildings. It was for years. Can I lay a block? Nope. Can I lay a block? Nope. Not yet until you learn how to do this. Nope. He ended up getting on community, started laying blocks. I said, good. And of course, I told the people, you need to look more towards building with concrete than you do with wood. Wood is a hell of a lot easier on the body, but that concrete, they do not make a termite eating a termite that eats concrete. When they do, we all in trouble. They're genetically modifying everything nowadays. It's sad to say in this generation, if we were to ask to see your faith, very few men in Israel could actually show you the work. You understand what I mean? It's one thing to read a book, but can you translate from off that book into your action? Can you give practical action for what's written in that book? You see what I mean? I remember when me and Mother Carol first got in the military, she would have me run around looking at houses. It just ain't in my spirit. You remember that, Mama Carol? And she would have these realtors, and they would go open up closet doors, and I'd be like, yes. That's just where we were. I said, you think you're looking at that house? You ain't looking at that house. I ain't looking at it either because I ain't know what I was looking at. And she could tell I was totally disinterested. You know the reason why? Because even back then I couldn't fathom paying somebody $100,000 on a 30-year mortgage. It just didn't make sense to me. Will you pay somebody rent because I ain't going to be living there forever? What are you going to do? I'm going to build a house one day. Of course, you know, how you going to build a house? And she didn't say, did you say that? You can't build no house. Didn't you say that? She probably said it. She said it with the wood. She probably said it. But you see what I'm getting to? What good is it to me to sit up there and tell you what you need to do and you don't see it from the man that's giving the instruction? Does that make any sense? All right. Very few men in Israel could actually show you the work they have done to show you their faith. Your level of faith is best seen by what you do and not what you say. I mean, even in the spirit realm, if I want to teach y'all how to lay hands on someone and stuff, then there's the practical application that has to come afterwards, right? Are you following me? That's mostly for us. It ain't for the world, though. You know, healing is the children's bread. You understand what I mean? Teach you deliverance, there has to be a practical application, right? You got to know how to do it. So let's take a short walk down memory lane. You can do anything you set your mind to do. You just have to want it for Yah and others more than yourself. In other words, you can't be selfish. Don't worry about if nobody going to praise you. Why are you looking for the praises of man anyway? You see, we some hypocrites. We want to be recognized. Oh, but I was there too. I do give you the credit. You were there. I ain't say you did a damn thing, but you was there. That was our little congregation in the basement. And the majority of us lived in that one house. Brother Harris had a room, Deacon Bell had a room, Teacher Shane had a room, all in the living room, petitioned off on twin beds. Boy, sure does look like we're swimming in money, don't it? There's old bearded Pastor Dowell right there. Ain't one gray hair in there. Can you believe I was young one time? Look at them trailers. Majority of them didn't have no electricity, and the ones that did have electricity, they only had 20 amps of service. 20 amps. So the first thing we did was gutted the kitchens, gutted the bathroom. You don't need it. We need rooms. You got a roof over your head. What you complaining about? Yeah, you got a roof over your head. What you complaining about? Oh, look at them. Both of them say, oh, boy, I thank the Father I'm not there back then. I'm thanking the Father you wasn't there back then either, because you probably wouldn't be here today. That's us prior to moving on the community, baptizing some people, and the majority of these people we baptized with, we ain't never seen them again. And mind you, we don't evangelize. How did they get to know me? That's baptized down at the creek. That's me baptizing another brother from North Carolina. Remember I tell you when you build something, start small? You remember that, Pastor Muir? When you build something, start small. If you go down there next to them fuel tanks at the bottom of the land, that's that same building that's still there. That's one of the few buildings that's still there from when we first started building. Start small. I wonder why I tell people that. Isn't that right, Pastor Muir? Why do I tell people that? Which camera am I on? When you learn how to lay blocks, start small. That building is still there. It's right behind Mama Dowell's house. It used to be the place that we would put, we bought this old Amish cook stove. Mother and Carol and them will cook on that thing, and there's the air conditioning too. See it on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sides. They will cook on that thing in the summertime, man. If it was 100 outside, it was 300 in there probably. Our kids, you know, they got that thing so hard, they burnt the firebox out of the thing.
That's hot. That's hot.
And only 2 men, that stove was like 800 pounds, and only 2 of us got it in there. Me and Deacon Mac, we put that thing in there. And that woman said, man, it took 6 Amish men to put it in there. I said, I see why. I ain't attempting nothing like that today. This right here was our tool shed. See, we're getting bigger. Moving on up to the east side. But then I had somebody that I told them, because we had paint in there, we had our tools in there, we had all our Brother Ernie's machining equipment and everything in there. And they had these extension cords plugged up. And so I said, listen, don't leave them extension cords plugged up, all this stuff like this, because it's going to probably end up in a fire. Don't do that. So one day we in the dining hall eating and everything. The next thing you know, fire! Come running out there, man. The whole damn thing's ablaze. Burnt up, lost every bit of that, all because there's one brother didn't want to unplug the extension cord. How many people y'all have on communities when you tell them and give them a direct to do something, they don't want to do it? Cost us every bit of tools we had, and we didn't have much, but what we had, Brother Ernie bought down all that machining equipment, nice equipment you would have loved, Brother Bud. It's that old school stuff, all burnt to a crisp. I don't know if that tree, you can probably still see the black on that tree, just kind of like you can see the black on Mount Sinai. Gone. Nobody. Good. I'm sorry. Yeah, you are. Needless to say, he ain't on the community either. There's that horse. Remember I told y'all we had a horse? We had one kind of like one of them Budweiser horses. Say, y'all did have one of them things. Man, I said, we got to get rid of that damn thing. That damn thing eating everything. We can't do nothing with it except what sled up and down the damn road. Ain't no benefit, man. Get rid of that damn thing. It just didn't make sense. Everybody want to be out there cheesing. But y'all see our little trailer. See, we were happy people. Look at all them psychedelic colors. We were better than Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. Look at that, see? That trailer right there is what Brother Rich and them used to live in. We leveled that trailer. Notice the dining hall's not even there. Y'all notice the dining hall's not there? And look at that old tractor that I'm on right there. I got out there and got on that tractor and said, ooh-wee, I learned how to drive a tractor. And there's me and Deacon Gasson. Well, there's Deacon Gasson and Dad Dowell right there. We're down here at the building where I'm now that I live in. His home was a fellowship hall, building that. See all these trailers that we had to level and paint and do all that. I mean, when I tell you we were humping, boy, we were humping. Big time, getting it done. See that trailer? That's what the trailer looked like. Wouldn't y'all love to live in something like that? Huh? Wouldn't y'all love to live in something like that, man? Whew. Look at them. Them sisters, y'all to see them. You ever see one of them hurt smiles? I'm not really agreeing, but. So when I tell y'all that we used to live in deplorable conditions, I'm telling you flat out we did it. But you know what it done? It helped remove a lot of murmur and complaint out of us. Now y'all make sure up there when y'all switching back and forth from up there, if I'm talking, put the camera back on me, the trailer's not talking. When I do put up a slide, put the slide up for a little bit and then put it back on me. That's the end of that trailer right there. After we put our little hands to it. And it had no bathroom. It only had 20 amps of electric service. And it took the family we moved in there less than 6 months to destroy it. And needless to say, they ain't on the community either. See that double wide right there? I paid $4,000 for that double wide. That's that double wide that's got all that junk in it down there now. It's getting ready to be tore down and moved. But Sister Vicky used to live on the other side of that. Yeah. That's the same basketball court right there. They see that purple one down there? Wasn't that our house? Yeah. Look at our children's choir. Do y'all notice something? We wasn't wearing head coverings back then. The women wasn't wearing head coverings. Boy, as soon as I came across that we supposed to be wearing head coverings, boy, you don't believe how many women got a case of the rear end. And they talked their husbands right out the faith too. Sure did. All of them are grown now. Every one of them in their 30s. Look at old Pastor Dowell marrying Brother Rich and Tomoko. That's in that tabernacle right here that's now become the fellowship hall. The first part of it right there. We built that too. See? Looky. He said, yeah. Look at Mama Carol. Boy, I had a nice beard. I need to go back to that. That's styling right there, man. Look like Magnum PA, TA. Sure, I look better than Pulp Fiction. That's us right there digging out the dining hall. I had to rent the equipment when we got enough funds, rent the equipment, and then do the work. You ain't gonna never learn unless you get out there and do it. Then I would tell the brothers, you get out there and drive that thing around, man, because you don't ever know. We gotta split this thing up. You understand what I mean? And then, of course, there's the foundation to the dining hall. And there's Travis Oil still coming. Travis Oil Ready Mix. Let me see, I see me, and I don't see another brother out there that's still here on that community. I see Dad Dowell standing there. Still been doing it after all these years, just trekking and trucking, huh? I can wish that the building get there. I can wish for a lot of things, but it ain't gonna get there. See, when y'all said he's gonna bless the labor of your hands, that means you got to get out and learn how to do it. That means you have to inconvenience yourself. I wasn't concerned about getting on the internet doing no preaching because I was preaching right here. I wasn't concerned about doing no teaching on the internet. I'm teaching right here. Does that make sense? I wasn't even thinking about being known. I wasn't even caring about being known. Does that make sense? Wasn't even in my damn mindset at all. As soon as we get the money in, we go buy the building material and we start doing it ourselves. That's only after a few years. Mind you, we had to set every trailer, bring them all out here, build these buildings. We got the dining hall. We got the dining hall going right here and the shower house going at the same time. That's the finished dining hall, which you already know. Look, that's me working on the shower house. We would do that, and the sisters would paint the shower house in and out. That's that roof that's out of square. The elder Doug was making fun of me for. That's the finished shower house at that time. Didn't it look beautiful? Worked good for us because, man, when you go from, man, being able to take bucket baths and bucket showers and stand in line, now you got 2 stalls over here, 2 toilets, 2 more bathrooms, and then 2 toilets over here. Whoo, boy, we doing good. Male and female side. So that's the reason why I tell people, when you get out in the community, the first thing you need to do is build a shower house. You got to have a place of sanitation so people can stay clean. But see, already, majority of the brothers would have already got faint-hearted because you would have to end up doing the work. There was nobody else around to do the work for us. There's our greenhouse. That greenhouse is 25 years old. Still there. When I tell you, we was doing everything. I can't tell you how many years that myself and Elder Doug would cut the grass, empty the trash, go do wood runs. Mother Carol would go on wood runs with us. Sometimes the sisters would go on wood runs with us. We were busy from the time we got up until we went to bed. And most of y'all, it's leisure. That's why I keep talking about y'all fat-ass sisters. Because we didn't have no fat sisters back then. Did y'all miss y'all miss Mother Carol? Look. That's because I was getting on her nerves and working her ass off. See what I mean? Y'all see what I'm talking about? When you busy doing all that kind of work, whoo, boy, when you go to sleep, but it's sweet. Now, when I'm talking about you big sisters and stuff, I know the reason why you big. Some of it's partially because of the food and stuff, and the other rest of it is because you don't move enough. You eat more, you got more coming in than the calories is going out. And if you don't watch it, if you ain't careful, that stuff will sneak up on you. I seen some young daughters of Zion a few weeks ago. I said, you want to get married one day, don't you? I said, you ain't going to get married like that. Ain't no brother in Israel going to marry you like that. You better put a knife to your throat and start losing some weight right now. Now, you tell me who loved her. Old Pastor Dowell again over there. Let's build a stage. The pulpit over here on this thing right here, this old tabernacle. Old Deacon Bell, look at him, still skinny. That's the tabernacle. I was getting better as I go. I was getting a whole lot better. Because Elder Doug, when you out here when we built that tabernacle? Elder Doug said, no, I wasn't out here. So I was getting better. I was getting good. Because I would go watch people, I'd read the books, I would go implement it. Same way I was studying that Bible, I would study building. Oh, boy. Yeah, I would. Then I would teach the brothers that were around, that would hand me stuff and help me do stuff, and then once they learned, then they could help, we could be a little bit more proficient in getting it done. Me and the brother, we didn't use no crane to set them trusses up there. We lifted them trusses up there. We didn't go rent no crane. We literally lifted those trusses up there. Me, Teacher Shane, Deacon Bell, and a few other brothers, we lifted them things up there and set them. That was a finished part of the first time. I remember when we first walked in that 30 by 60 building, we said, we'll never fill this thing up. Wow. You understand, at the time, it was no more than maybe 30 or 40 of us. We'd never feel like, come on, man, we've been doing this forever. And there's a sister right there, notice no air covering. They was in there painting it. Yep, got the dress on. And that was the finished tabernacle. It didn't look good. It didn't look really nice. We got to do some work on that front, boy, because they don't make wood the way they used to. Got a little wood stove out there. See our little rock water right there? That's rock. Oh, that's Sheba? Look like rock to me. That's Pastor Dowell, the fellowship hall. Down there putting together a hip valley roof. Making compound miter cuts. 412 pitch. I wonder where I learned how to do that. Work. Work out your salvation with fear and trembling. See, work will save some of you from yourself. Yes, it will. A lot of these so-called demon entities that are ministering to you, that's because you got too much time to sit there and listen to it. When that sun is beaming down on your neck and all you got to do is think about what the measurement of the next cut is. And mind you, at the time, we didn't have no everything was nailed. Pow! 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 That was our pneumatic gun. Pow! 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 Always had me a 24-ounce. Elder Doug said, I ain't swinging that. Big old framing hammer. That's the finish of it at that time. That's working, brothers and sisters. So all y'all brothers that's getting ready, your own communities, you're in homesteads, you're transitioning toward this way, y'all fortunate because y'all been there for a while, but y'all should have been immersing yourself in trying to do all these things, get around the building projects and stuff, because when y'all get there, you know, what good is it to be out there on a piece of land and you don't know how to square a building? What good is it? Elder Chris can't run around and do all the dozer work for everybody. He got a community too, and a business. You see what I mean? You got to make yourself better. You got to start learning this stuff. There's old Pastor Dowell on a ditch witch. We rented a ditch witch. Man, that thing is slow and methodical. You look back and you've been on that thing for about 15, 20 minutes. You think you done went somewhere and you've been from here to there. Like, what the hell is going on? There's so much money under the earth. When you see a building, then you see mostly above the earth sometimes. Look at our greenhouse at that time. Food. Boy, that sure did quilt the grocery bill too. Now, that's what it looked like after that season. Getting better and better every year. Look, there we are again. We're over at the shower house. Look at that. The old cement truck. And then look, there's the brothers at the time. And you know what? There's only one. I'm going to say how many brothers are left. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Out of all those men, there's only 4 brothers left out of that picture that live here on this community. 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 brothers. I got to tell you about this cat. See this? What happened? How you cut this thing on, teacher? Oh, that's how you do it. That's me. You see this cat right here? Do y'all see that dude right there? That brother is the name of John Maverick. That's Elias. That's John Maverick. I've never in my life seen anybody play a guitar like him. You can tell he could play anything at any given time. He was just lazy as shit. He would sit around on building projects and just stand there. He was the type of person you had to say, brother, could you get that piece of wood and bring it over here? Get a piece of wood. Had no incentive about him at all. No initiative, not even trying to learn. Needless to say, he gone too. Pastor Dowell, teacher Shane, Brother Scott, we're getting a little bit older, but we're still doing what? Same thing. That's up there in Straitway, Kentucky. I told the father, asked the father one day, I said, Father, I paid about 15 years ago. I said, Father, sure would be nice to have a bass boat again. He gave us a bass boat. Nice bass boat, too. We like it. Training, still training. Out there with Ranger and them, still training. We here. Up there in Clarksville. That was a good broadcast, too. Still got that spunk and that fire, that determination. Huh? See, the whole idea is to motivate men so that men, when they're motivated, they can motivate other men. Create an environment, a good, healthy competition amongst brethren. Knowing that we can get it done. That right there is a building a square into my house. Old Pastor Dowell up there in Kentucky still laying it to the line, along with the brothers up there, his brother Ray and teacher Shane and them, still getting it in. Is that me and Joseph? Is that you, McNeil? That's you, ain't it, Brett? That's Brother Brett right there on the, that's when we actually added on to the addition of this. In other words, the building ain't stopped after all these years. After all these years. The brothers that, the brothers that I have on this land, like Brent, JC, and Brother Scott, man, we can go anywhere with them, and we can build anything. Anywhere with them, build anything. You can take that brother right there, Brother Britt, not even have to micromanage. He can go to any community, any place himself and build it himself. And if you notice, Straitway, we have this good habit of running around helping everybody else. And I don't mind doing that. I don't, but boy, guess what? It's getting time for y'all to start reciprocating some of that. Yes, sir. Because we got some major building that has to be done. And of course, that's the land that the Most High y'all end up allowing us to purchase, that we end up owning from there all the way back. And if you notice something, we built that building, we added on in addition to this building, we refurbished that building, and we did that. So let me tell you something, we put that fence up. With all this work that we got going on around here, when do we have time to sit down on our ass and just be lazy? Everybody will come. Oh, Straitway is a nice place. Well, I guess most of y'all just said, poof, there's a fence. Poof, there's a building. Poof, there's a... No, you had to have some brothers that were willing. You had to have sisters that would get up and do the cooking and the washing and the cleaning and to make sure that we could be able to do our job. See, if we're doing that, we always got somebody behind us helping taking care of us so we can be able to perform those duties. Is that making sense? So your level of faith is based upon your will, drive, and determination that you have in you, and people will see it. And that's why I keep telling y'all, why try to reinvent the wheel? Just do what I've been doing. If you having a problem trying to figure out what I was doing, just ask somebody. So far, this blueprint is working pretty good. I know one thing, it's got y'all out of debt. When Elder Mitchell and them got together as brothers and stuff, him and Brother Greg, and then when the brothers would come in, the first thing they would do is sit the brothers down. All right, let's see what your expenses is. Good, we all going to work to pay this debt off. They pay the debt off. Man, where can you get that kind of integrity or heart at nowadays? Yeah. See what I mean? And so we have to continue to keep building, to keep expanding, because there's people that are off the community, that lives around the community, has got to be on the community one day. Because everybody don't want to be out there. The majority of people that come to this ministry actually want to be on the community. And I don't blame you. If I wasn't on the community, I want to be on the community. No one is telling me anymore what I can and cannot do. Set your heart right and expect resistance and pushback when moving forward. Y'all remember David and Ziklag? Y'all remember that, right? I'm glad y'all know the story, because, man, them people got peed off at him, didn't they? Woo, did they not get peed off at David? Man, David was greatly distressed, and the people spake of stoning him. Spake of stoning him, because his soul, the soul of all the people were grieved, and every man his sons and his daughters. But David did what? But David did what? But David did what? So I remember, when we was working like that, a lot of people was losing heart, if you understand what I mean. And I remember back then, there was this spirit that I discerned amongst the men on the land. And you know what it was? Because then what they do is they started having a conspiracy, and what they would do is they'll say, my back is hurting, or my leg is hurting, and next thing you know, they'll be 4 days out of the week, they all be in that house. So I came in the dining hall, I said, I know exactly what's going on. I said, good. So I preached to them when they all on that day, and I knew they all was going to be in the dining hall. I said, let me tell y'all something. I'm the type of man that I will build every damn building out here if I got to do it by myself, because I don't need you. But not only that, the Most High y'all is going to remove y'all anyway. That's how you talk. Am I right, T? Look at it. He goes, yep. They remember these preachers. I would look them square dead in the eye. I don't need you. I can do it by myself, and will do it. Ooh, and they're gone. And I'm glad they're gone. So when everybody was against David, he prayed to Yahweh. See, you do not learn anything in life except by trial and tribulation. Except by trial and tribulation. So tomorrow morning we're going to send Bud down to Elder Rufus' them place so he can teach them how to build dormers. Now he can probably frame up, I told Elder Rufus, he can probably frame up the whole dormers in 2 hours if he has somebody hand him the boards. I said, but he's going to go down there and teach them. So it's going to take a little while longer. Are you following me? And once he gets back down and teach them, we're not going back down there to teach him how to do no more dormers. That make sense? Are you following me? Because some of these places where y'all see us coming laying block and we teaching y'all certain things, when we showed up and showed y'all and by example how we work and how we do it and how to get it done, don't expect us to keep coming back to every building you got, because it ain't going to happen. Uh-oh. See what I mean? Glory to the King. It's the resistance that tells you that you're on the right path. You just have to change the way you view things. And 2 Corinthians 4:17 says, for our light affliction, which is for a moment, worketh for us more and more exceedingly an eternal weight of glory. But notice what it is, though. It's light affliction. Light affliction. Just for a moment, it's just light affliction. Psalms 34, verse 19, for our light affliction, which is for the moment, worketh for us more and more exceedingly an eternal weight of glory. So what was he doing? Quoting Scripture. Quoting Scripture. Over the years, many have sought to smite me with their words, lie on me, bear false witness against me, and slander me. When it's all said and done, the book says, by their what? You shall do what? By their fruits you shall know them. So Jesus said, the reason why it's in red up there, because it's all red letter, the ones that we're getting ready to go over here for a second. Jesus' warning was, beware of false prophets, which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inwardly they're what? Ravening wolves. That's how they are. They befriend you. They act like they with you. Are you following me? But they want to devour you. You shall know them by what? So, hey, I know that good words and fair speeches deceive the heart of the simple. I know that a lot of people know how to talk a game better than living and doing a game. So I pay more attention to action than I do words, because anybody can say anything. It doesn't produce too much energy to talk. It does require a hell of a lot of energy, though, to get your ass out there and sweat and get your knees and your hands dirty. Yes, it does. And to bend your back. Yes, it does, to build for the people of Israel to where you're not so focused on yourself, but you're focused on others. And if more than anything, you can't get any motivation, you can't even muster up any motivation from your own self, at least look to the children. Prepare a place for them. Because they can't do it right now, but they got to have somebody they have to look to and learn from. If you're disappointed in yourself, then damn repent, get out of your own damn self and think about your children and the children's children. Makes sense, don't it? You shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or thistles? So even so, every tree bringeth forth good fruit. Every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corruptible tree bring forth evil fruit. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit. So, man, the world out there, man, I got to talk to the world. A lot of y'all people out there, y'all think I'm the most evilest man that has ever lived. The most evilest pastor and preacher you have ever seen. Amazing, isn't it? That's what you think. But when it all gets finished, said and done, you're going to have to throw your opinion aside and you're going to have to look at my fruits.